pacing up and down your drive, trying to get the nerve affirm that I'm the only one who you should give of your affection. But you were watching me from your window. Your bag was packed and you were raring to go along with me. And on this ride, all my attention you've got. Ooh, I could tell by the way you were looking at me I was found. For you counted down, you watched my every move, like a blind man finally seeing something. I've been finding every road has led to you. Hey, all I've ever wanted is to play hide and seek. Oh, for two. Well, under the setting sun, we started off and played this game. You are it and I'm on the run. I know I'll never be the same again. Well, everything I've ever dreamed of, you've got. Ooh, I could tell by the way you were looking for me I was found. For you counted down, you knew my every move, like a wise man holding all the answers. I've been swimming in a crowded pool of fools. Hey, but all I've ever wanted, you say you'll take me just the way I am, but out the welcome mat and I'll walk through. Yeah, light the candles and we'll start again. I'm gonna count to 10 and come find you. You know I'm gonna find you. Tell by the way I'm looking at you, this is real. This is how I feel, I'm falling into you. Like an acrophobiac skydiving, I jumped out and I left my parachute. You see, all I've ever wanted is to play hide and seek. Only you.
agenda.
Make a motion to approve the board agenda.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross. Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
And Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Agenda's approved. Approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will do roll call. Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson. And Mark Matthews.
Motion carries. Ready for the business. First item is permission to accept bids on the OES gym project.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
And Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is the bid for a tractor and an animal trailer. And this is this gonna be the end of that fund?
No.
There's still
No, we
ISM.
Where we get the tractor from?
We're spending it. We're getting rid of it.
Miller?
Okay, do I hear a motion that we
Motion.
accept bids for the tractor and animal trailer?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson. Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
And Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is to seek bids for garbage pickup, pest control, and janitorial supplies.
Who got the garbage?
We're just putting it
Seeking
out.
bids.
Oh,
Yeah.
just seeking.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just seeking it.
When will these be due?
I think we wrote April the 30th, as soon as it's
April
up.
Okay,
I can double check that
that
tomorrow.
sounds,
I just wondered. Scott Solid Waste got it, ain't
They do have it now, yes, that's correct.
Is there anybody else besides them?
Yeah,
I know
in the past
Mr.
we-
Price does it, and I know there's some others.
Have garbage will trap.
Yeah,
That's crass.
Yeah.
That's it. And then, I didn't know there was another one.
yeah, the guy from La Follette.
you're talking about
Oh,
janitorial.
you,
No, he's not asking about garbage.
GTI or something like that. He's bidding on it this year.
No,
Oh, I don't know.
We don't know, we're just,
We don't know.
we do
will
this
just go
every
out.
3 years, and it's that time.
Well,
Maybe
Gotcha.
some new ones. Since
Yeah,
I make a motion, we, allow to seek bids.
Second.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
And Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is, this has to go before the board, the School Volunteer Recognition Award for TSBA. And this year, they nominated Scott Gilbert.
Motion. Second.
And I will roll call. Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
And Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Very good. You'll be a great representative. And another ISM is permission to purchase a van from the state procurement agreement.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
And Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
That a Toyota van? Is that what we, yes, Toyota van?
The next item is to surplus and donate stage lighting equipment to the Scott Christian Care Center.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross. And Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is to surplus and trade the 2019 Dodge Durango.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
And Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is memorandums of understanding and service agreements. The State of Tennessee Benefits Administration Oneida Nursing and Rehab Center, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, and Capturing Kids' Hearts.
I make a motion we approve these MOUs.
Motion,
Second.
second.
And I will roll call. Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Mark Matthews,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross, Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
and Dr. Nancy Lamson.
Aye. Motion carries. The next item is budget amendments. General purpose, cafeteria, and another ISM.
I make a motion to approve these budget amendments.
Second.
Motion second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Mark Matthews,
Aye.
and Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is the adoption of science textbooks. Any comments there, Zach? Or-
Teacher's choice.
Okay.
I'll make a motion we approve this adoption of science textbooks.
Motion,
Second.
second.
I will roll call. Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
Mark Matthews,
Aye.
Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
and Dr. Danny Cross.
Motion carries. We have several letters of resignation. Emma Crabtree, cafeteria, Nicole Phillips, middle school teacher assistant, Brian Hamby, high school teacher, coach, Addie Sexton, high school cheer, Hannah Foster, teaching assistant OES, and Austin Stevens, teaching assistant at OES. Here a motion, we accept these letters of resignation.
Motion.
Motion, second.
And I will roll call. Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Mark Matthews,
Aye.
and Dr. Nancy Lamson.
Aye. Letters are accepted. And then our fundraising request, we've got middle school cheer pick-a-day calendar, middle school cheer shirt sales, middle school girls soccer ham and goodies cookies, and middle school girls soccer car wash.
I make a motion we approve this fundraiser request.
Motion,
Second.
second.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Mark Matthews,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
and Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Motion carries. And our last item is the individuals that need to be authorized to sign for the account that the board voted to create in March of 2025 at the UCB Bank.
I wasn't here for that meeting. Is it, just out of curiosity, what is that? Are we,
It's just
we're not
opening an
changing,
account.
we're
No,
doing
no,
most of
no,
our
no.
business with First National?
Yeah, it's one small account.
Yep.
That's all it is.
And these
And
are,
it gains interest.
It's what?
It gains the interest.
Oh,
It's not a lot of money at all.
how much?
25,000.
25. How much interest?
What was the interest, Allison?
It's
2 or 3%.
How much?
2 or 3%. We don't, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
just curious, always
Yeah.
curious about interest.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
all it does is just, the account's already approved, it's just the signers.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a savings account, interest-bearing account.
Yes,
It's not
interest.
something we'll be using.
That's right. But we have access to it at any time though.
Sure. Motion.
motion, second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
and Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Motion carries. And that is all the business before the board. Director's report.
Okay, so we again would like to proudly announce that Stephanie Bowshears receiving the National Milton Educator Award was just amazing. We are so proud of her. She is just a phenomenal teacher every day, and this is a historic moment for Oneida. I don't think we've ever had a Milken Award winner. So this is a huge honor, not only for her, but for the elementary school as well as the district, so.
She's the only one in Tennessee this year.
Yeah.
The only one in Tennessee?
The only
Yeah.
one in Tennessee.
So this is like, you know, a golden globe or just.
Ella, my daughter had her as a teacher and loved
Yeah,
her
she's
as a
amazing.
teacher.
Yeah.
So that was such an honor, so proud of
Secure
her.
kid.
So, and then also congratulations to, and Stacey's gonna talk about this, but Elizabeth Zachary for the MTSU True Blue, which I don't wanna take Stacey's thunder, so I will. I put in your packet, obviously, the letters of support and stuff, and all of the legislative stuff that we've been sending, in regard to the sessions and for the following, but thankfully it's closed, and I'll let you know the updates soon on, kind of what we're gonna have to do, the changes that will have to be made as far as policy and stuff. Mark your calendars if you have time. The Ayers Foundation, that's, as y'all know, Jim passed away, so any support we could, have on May 7th at 8:30, it'll be at the high school, and Stacey will talk about all that, but, if you can attend, that would be awesome. Also, we, did our school nutrition review. You have the findings and the corrections. As you all know, Kathy does an amazing job. She's here if you would need to ask her any questions. I'm thankful for her day in and day out. She, you know, always puts our kids first. I know that we can't offer McDonald's chicken McNuggets and Big Macs and all these things, but she does a great job with what we can offer. And so that's in there. If you have any questions, she's obviously here, and I can answer anything as well. And then I know you're hearing a lot about ESSER, and boards are, you know, and superintendents are worried about giving money back. Obviously, you all know Mr. Brown is great when it comes to things like that. So you all as a board do not have to worry about that. Our money is spent. We're not gonna have to send anything back. So also in your packet is a TSSAA updates. I think I've sent you guys and uploaded stuff as it's came. Reminder, April and May for school systems are very busy. So the principals have tried to inform you of the things that's going on. Calendars dates are on newsletters. Hopefully they're on our website. We probably can double check that. But just kind of, you know, you'll probably have to pick and choose because there's a lot of things going on. But that's just the nature of kind of the way it is right now. Student Achievement Award, and I'll let Stacey talk about that. And also, we have a volunteer for TSBA as far as a student, and I'll also let Stacey talk about that. One thing we need to decide as a board is the resolution for the bonuses for the staff. We have the one that was tailored to our system that you all have in your packet, and then we have the one from TSBA, which is a smaller one. So if I can just kind of help you, the one that's larger is kind of tailored for Oneida, and the one that's smaller is like for all school districts. It's just like a general, and you all can create it however you want, but it's only this big. And then you have the bigger one, so that the bigger one is kind of tailored to Oneida. But you need to choose what we're gonna do, because we do have to pass that, because, you know, well, you all,
It'll have to be done next month.
yeah, just to get that
When are we
money.
voting on it?
No.
Probably in May.
We'll have to do it in May.
Yeah, in May. So I just need to know which one you want.
Are we leaning towards one? Or
Well,
do we have it?
The thing is, the short one from TSBA is for, they do
All
that
schools.
version for every school system. And the one, the longer one is tailored more for us,
Who did that one?
For the teachers.
Yeah,
the lawyer.
yeah.
The biggest one,
Oh,
whichever.
It's just
Chuck's.
Chuck
Yes,
Buck,
so
yeah.
the bigger one is the one that's tailored to Oneida.
Chris
and then-
McCarty.
And then the other one is TSBA.
Both
So
samples are in
They're
that
both, they're
clip.
both
Both
gonna
are
accomplish the
in
same
the-
thing.
In the
Yeah.
clip, this right here, I'll show you.
But the bigger one is probably a little more detailed. So
There's
y'all
a
need
bunch
to
of
decide
those.
and let me know.
They're towards the back. It's towards the back.
Because Katie will have to put it on the agenda
Yes.
for May.
I'm just still.
While y'all are looking, I'm gonna continue to talk, cause I know we've got
There it
games
is.
going on. So
There.
open enrollment
This is from
began,
TSBA, and
and
this one is from Chris McCarty's
it was a
office.
very smooth open enrollment application process. Now, remember, this is for next year, this is just we started a little bit earlier, but that's gone very smooth. So, we're thankful for Katie managing all that, and I think that's all I have, except for the fact if you could just stay for 1 to 2 minutes, I just need to maybe ask advice or ask a question, just really quick, after the meeting. Also for the month of April, I would like to hire Dara Smith, Dylan Darty, and Tyler Chipwood. And I think that is all I have.
Okay, principals reports. We'll start with Stacy. I think she probably got a lot.
Okay, so, let's see, the Ayers Foundation, yes, passing, Mr. Ayers. I'm sure you guys are aware, but this is someone who, has had a heart for rural communities, and I think the impact that the way they set the programs up, to break down barriers and create opportunities for schools in rural areas is immeasurable. And we appreciate being a part of that, and just can't say what that's meant to our school, and in working with them, they're one of the foundations that they give, and they don't ask for anything in return for that. So very sad to hear his passing. And I don't know like the details of, I mean, I know the arrangements when they are, but I'm assuming that's in, there's a Nashville, there's a opportunity to do it in Nashville, and then also in Parsons. To pay your respects. Then the TSA, or TSBA representative will be Isabel Bullard. She is a junior. She is going to be up for a National Merit Scholar, so we have one this year and we have one up next year. So that's pretty amazing. And then Elizabeth Zachary was chosen by MTSU as an outstanding freshman. That was one of 100 students chosen. So that's a amazing honor for academic excellence. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's what else? What was the other thing you wanted me to talk about?
Oh, the
Sorry.
Gilberts.
The what?
The Gilberts for the volunteer.
Oh, yes, so.
We had to select one. The way you have to upload it, if you have to select one, it only lets you do one person. So I know we did them in general, but I'm just gonna do Scott as the actual submission, so.
Yes, so, the Gilbert Scott is a great, I mean, we know all that he does for athletics. They have, but they're unique in the fact that they have a kid at every school in the system. So, and they're supporting in ways, with all those schools, but certainly at the high school, they have the biggest presence, at games. He does every football meeting that we have at home, he is there. Supporting football team, most basketball games, they are there and in the stands, and are providing supports in other ways, wrapping ankles. I mean, anything they are asked to do, they're willing to come and offer support in that. They've donated computers to the high school. I mean, I could go on and on about the things that they have done. I mean, obviously our students have close relationships with them because that's where they go do their therapy. But they really invest in our schools, so we want to honor both Allison and Scott, but we kind of had to pick. So Scott is the one that we can like nail down that he is there at these games and things like that. So, okay, and then so yeah, I talked about Elizabeth with the 1 out of 100 by MTSU, and then is there anything else? I'm sorry, you know.
I think that's it.
Okay. So we had class schedule meetings this week. We offered that to all grades for parents to come in and just talk about the programs we offer, and then be able to just talk to us and get a plan for next year. Our last one was tonight with the freshmen. And then we got through ACT and got the scores back for the juniors, and those scores were amazingly encouraging. There were only 4 kids that were below a 21 to start that did not go up in some area. And many of them, we had kids that went up 6 points from their pre-ACT to their ACT, 8 points, I mean, like, huge jumps in improvement. And then even the students that didn't go up, you know, they might have pre-ACT'd at a 25 and they went down to a 24 or something. So, we had a student that scored straight 34s in every single area. So, one of the best parts of my job is giving those awards to students, and they have another attempt their senior year, so hopefully, if nothing else, earning a class period brain break will encourage them to try on their senior ACT. That's something that we really worked on, trying to make that feel as important as we can, even for kids that maybe don't buy in, to give them a reason to try on it, and we just say, just do your best and try. Along with that, those great scores, this year we did the pre-ACT right after that, and the environment around that and looking forward to those scores is we have kids that are like, are the scores in? I mean, every day, all the teachers are like, oh my gosh, did the pre-ACT scores come in? These kids are driving us crazy. And that's such a good thing. I don't know that I've had that happen. There's always been a group of kids that want to know, right? Because they want to know if they qualify for their run state classes. But this is probably the most excitement that I've seen from a sophomore class learning their pre-ACT scores. So I think that that's really so promising. And then this year we tested, thanks to CTE and Jason Terry, we tested our freshmen with the pre-ACT. So we'll be able to show data on that and the progression. It just gives them another chance to take it, to get familiar with it, lose a little bit of that test anxiety. We also did that. I want to thank the district for their efforts to allow us to create a testing environment downstairs. We did, for the first time, we did large groups. We did the entire sophomore class. We split the juniors up into 2 groups, but for the pre-ACT, we did a large group, which was 80, 90 kids in one space at one time doing that, and that was efforts of our technology team and making sure that we were able to do that. We had the bandwidth and that there was nothing on our end. It was perfect. Now, ACT had some huge issues, but it was nothing on our part. It was just on ACT's part. So the kids that, and I probably need to talk about that for a minute, I'm sorry, I know I'm taking a long time. But if you are hearing the community, yes, there were definitely hiccups with the ACT. The first day, their site pretty much crashed, and the kids were in there waiting. We got, like, you do this logistical work of, like, trying to get everybody where they're supposed to be, and you walk off the gym, and the kids are just sitting there, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, we're already nervous about taking this test. And so we ended up having to release them about 45 minutes later. We were on the phone with ACT, and they just said, this is not gonna happen, or you can have them wait. And I'm like, they've already waited 45 minutes, we're done.
And this was statewide, so don't
Yeah.
think this was just Oneida.
Yeah, luckily we were Eastern time, so I was like the first caller every day. But the next day, the second group, we didn't have an issue except for 3 kids that we had moved into that group because some of them had like a surgery coming up, and those kids were able to take the first part, and then it crashed for them. They were not able to proceed in the test, and so we're on the phone again. The kids are waiting. Those 3 kids get pulled out of the room, and so I'm like, this is so inequitable to these kids. Like, are they gonna have to go back and take the English part again? Or whatever the first part is, math maybe. Oh, what is the first part of the ACT that you take? I can't remember. Anyway, so we pull those 3 kids out, and we get the others going again. They get through the test, and then like I call. We spent hours on the phone with them. Like, okay, are we ready to go tomorrow for this last group? They've already waited 45 minutes. And they're absolutely, we've got this worked out. There is no issue whatsoever. And we get in there to test, and none of the codes work. So, but they got it fixed very quickly. I kind of went off on the ACT people, like not my best moment, but I was like, it's gonna week it is. Like, I don't have another day to logistically manage this. But they were very nice. But I say all that to say this. So I sent them a detailed account of everything that happened, and they sent us vouchers for those students to be able to retake that test, the ones that had any issue whatsoever. The second day, kids did not get the vouchers, but some of the first group of kids probably won't use some of those. They do not have names on them, so we will offer up what vouchers are left to anyone that just wants a free retake for it. That's about $100. The only issue is that there's really not and I'll explain this to ACT, there's not a close place to take the test. And they're like, well, we'll let you do it. And I'm like, well, I can't pay staff to be here. This is not our fault. But anyway, So there's a little bit of a transportation barrier, but we can try to work through that depending on what's available. But we have put that out into the world that these vouchers are available. So if you're hearing any, like that was frustrating, it was not on our end, it was not our tech department at all. That was solely on ACT, and they own that and called and apologized and said, what can we do to fix it? So, back to the pre-ACT, it's very expensive to take these tests. So that was quite a large amount of money that CT did to try to improve ACT scores for post-secondary success. Also, with that, want to thank the playground was amazing. We took the freshmen and sophomores out to the playground after the test. It was so much fun. They're like, we feel like kids. So I didn't really think about that would be a great space for the high schoolers, but that's something we're definitely gonna do. They were doing races and that kind of thing. So super thankful for that. And last thing, promise, I just want to do a shout out to our, I know I say this so much, but Mr. Lackey, Cliff, the janitorial department and maintenance department at our school is the best. Anybody that walks into our school, and it happens on the daily, when I take them around, the fire marshal, who was not very nice at the end of the thing, just constantly complimented how nice our school is. Like, this is amazing. Like, you guys are just, I've never seen a school like this. And then he went into the culinary room and was like, you do realize that there's no other, like, Cookville High School maybe has something that's, you know, comparable to this. There's no small school. There's $1 million school in Nashville that has something like this. It's just good to hear that. I think we take that for granted, that our school is clean and nice, and people don't realize that it's as old as it is. And when you tell them it's a 33-year-old building, they like, no, that can't be. So it is due to the pride that our staff and students take in that building. So proud to be a graduate of the school and to carry that on, to honor the people that have worked in the school and graduated from the school. So I'm done.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, that was Mr. Brown. He said he wanted it kept like new in the maintenance, and we've maintained it. But I'll go back to the TSBA awards. We're competing with every school system in the state. We have had 3 student awards and 3 parent volunteer awards. And for a school system our size, that is amazing. And we enter one every year. We've not had one in a few years, but still, it's the fact that we care enough to single out a volunteer and a student to be in that. And I've judged many of those, and ours are right up there with them. They can compete without any problem.
I'm sorry, I did forget one thing, very quickly. I was able to go to the FFA conference one day and had involved those kids, and Ms. Lambert is doing such amazing things with them. They're such a fun group, and being a part of that, and seeing them receive awards was such a good time, such an enjoyable time. If you ever get a chance to be a part of that, I would highly recommend. It's a fun thing.
Well, I was there staying in the motel. I was doing a school review at 585 school in Gatlinburg, and they were staying at the motel where I was. And to watch them come in, I mean, they're totally on their own. It's after the meetings, and their behavior, the demeanor, everything is so professional, and you can tell what a good group it is everywhere. I mean, that's just the FFA standard. Okay, Selena.
As you all know, there's a lot that goes on at the middle school in April, but I'm just going to highlight just a few things. One, our academic team competed countywide, and they won first place. We had 2 students in the top 5 scorers, Cameron Lake and Camden Jones. Thomas Burris was in the top 11, and he had even missed one of the matches. So that was still a big deal, and Camden Jones actually had the most points countywide. So they were undefeated, and that was a big accomplishment. One thing that Dr. Massengale did was she had the parents come in, and the parents and the students competed against each other one day as practice, and those parents are competitive. So it was a good time, but they did really well. They represented Oneida Middle School very well.
How many are on that team?
I think there's 6.
Is it 6 through 8 students, or just 8?
No.
They're all represented?
anybody who wants to join.
Absolutely.
And that's the interest group. Tomorrow, we're gonna have sort of a testing kickoff. Not all the students and not all the teachers know exactly what's going on yet. So we're really excited about that. It's happening at 2 o'clock. You're welcome to join. It could look like chaos, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. We kick off TCAP because that starts Tuesday. It's always a high stress level for students and teachers. So we're trying to lessen some of that test anxiety. There may or may not be inflatables involved. Teachers submitted mini grants. They were due March 28th, and then we also, in March, we had cheer tryouts. So that's always a stressful time, but an exciting time for our middle school girls. So if y'all want a laugh about 2 o'clock tomorrow, please join us at the middle school.
Okay, thank you. Did George see anything? Just lots of stuff going on at the elementary. Oneida School Health.
All right, I'm just gonna highlight a couple of things. I wanted to let y'all know that in your packet that you all approved it tonight was our Capturing Kids' Hearts grant. Or it was actually the, oh my goodness, can't think tonight, the service agreement. But that is gonna be no cost to the school system. Coordinated School Health wrote a grant that we received for the Scott County Opioid Abatement Council in the amount of, well, the grant that we received from them was $121,135. We actually received more than that because that's gonna fund us for the next 3 years. So I think, and I should have wrote that down, I'm not sure what the total amount was, but I put it on your letter that we received from the Scott County Opioid Abatement Council. But the big push was that is several years ago, Dr. Phillips sent several of us to the Capturing Kids' Hearts program, and it was just a little outside of our budget that we could afford at the time. I think, Ms. Love, did you go with me that time?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was really great, and basically it's building relationships. And our counselors got to go this a couple of months ago and came back, and they were just very adamant that that was our missing piece to the puzzle. We're getting there with our test scores, we're getting there with academics, but we're losing our kids. We're not building those relationships. They don't want to be at school. So how can we fix that? So there's lots of top-notch schools that have great attendance, that have great test scores, that have fantastic academics, and this was one of their pieces. So we're gonna give it a try for the next 3 years and see. We just want to build those relationships. Dr. Phillips and I got to go to the leadership portion of it last week. We're hoping to bring that to central office, to the board. It was fantastic. It was eye-opening. It was one of those things you sat down and you took you had people evaluate you. They filled out words that described you, and then they came back and gave us our profile, and it's the flipping profile, and it was really, it was eye-opening. It was great to look at, to see things that we needed to work on. I didn't take it as a negative thing because lots of times we don't see our own faults or what we need to work on, and we think we're doing great at something, and somebody else is like, oh, no, maybe not. So I think it's good. I didn't take it negatively. I looked at it and I was like, oh, well, yeah, and then we talked through it. So I really hope that this is our missing piece. We've got to get our attendance where it needs to be. We've got to get back to our kids. We all love on them and get them here and make them want to be here.
And I don't want to interrupt you, Kelly, but like the elite schools have this, obviously, like Maryville, which is kind of where I had actually won certificates at a training, and that's how we were able to afford to send them the first time. But this, I'm telling you, like, this is intense training. It's very intense, but it's worth it. I feel like it's going to be great.
We're really excited about that. And the second thing is we were also awarded the Health Resiliency Grant for $986.43. With that grant, we are going to be able to put in weapon detection systems in both the elementary, middle, and high school. So instead of the metal detectors, those will be replaced with weapon detection systems in which students will not have to take their backpacks off. They won't have to take their coats off. They won't have to take their instruments out of their cases. They will walk through a scanner and it will scan everything. A lot of amusement parks, Dollywood is where I saw it first. And I asked the guy, I just sat with him and told him what I did and said, hey, explain this to me. So then I reached out to Evolve and they came in and did a site assessment with us. And you can put 1,000 people through it or was it 2,000 in under an hour? So he very well thought that middle and high school, we could get by with one. And so we're gonna reconfigure. I've talked to Miss Love and Miss Mayberry about our kids coming in one entrance at the back, at the concession stand hallway. And that way, we can also use this at ball games. As you know, that's coming down the pike of safety at ball games as well. So, kind of excited about that.
No more backpack searches?
No,
Only if.
only if it pings. So when they come back, I would like for y'all to come by. I'll even send you the video. So they have an
We're
iPad.
talking about in the morning, right?
So we'll put our SRO in charge of the iPad because they can't check bags, but they can monitor that. So it will ping. So if I walk through and had something in my backpack, not only will it ping my backpack, but it shows the location in the backpack where that item may be. So then we will have our administration or teachers, however we work that out, we will have 2 or 3 people there in the mornings to check the backpack that are school staff. So, very slim chance that, you know, it just randomly goes off on something, picks something up odd that it shouldn't. So I'm kind of excited about it. I think it'll cut down, because we had a lot of concern of checking backpacks, are we gonna miss something? So it's pricey, I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely pricey, but I'm hoping the grant, it'll cover that for a few years and let us just pilot it and see. The school in Nashville that just had the shooting a couple of months ago, they installed these as well. So I've got to talk to the principal there, and they said it's working great.
But we're definitely getting
We are.
there.
We got the grant, we got
Yeah, we got the money.
So, the other thing that grant will pay for is first aid kits for every single classroom. So we did the buckets before to provide if we were in a lockdown. So now every single teacher in the district will have a first aid kit that will have a stop the bleed kit or tourniquets in it that we'll train on, our nurses will train on. It will have any kind of bandages if we have mass casualties or anything like that. So we thought that was something that they truly needed that they didn't have within the classroom. We'll also provide the SROs with a very large kit and our school nurses. If there's money left, we can purchase AEDs in addition to that, once we purchase all that. And we're gonna bring in the I Love You Guys Foundation to train the entire staff on our standard response protocol and standard reunification methods. I'm hoping that we get the county and the city police department on the same page, so we're using the same speaks when we have a lockdown or we have, you know, safe, we have a tornado shelter in place, things like that, and we're all using the same language, and that's what this foundation will come in and train us on. And we're hoping, I actually just got off the phone with the state before I came over here, they're hoping to get everything cleared up for us so we can actually go ahead and do that training at the end of May, when things have kind of calmed down, so we start fresh at the beginning of the year. And this all ties into our safety with our Navigate. Every piece of Navigate is now in place. No, we are not using them fully, we're just trying to get our feet wet to figure them out, so we can start next year fully functional with everything going, and we're still training people as we go, so. The last thing, Mr. Brown and Miss May had a great idea today. Look, he did not want me to give him credit, but it was fantastic. We're gonna do something special for our staff this year, so we would like to invite you all on May the 6th from 6:30 to 8. We are going to have a night of honor for our entire staff, so we're gonna have a gala for our staff. Sit-down meal, catered. We want them to come in, celebrate them. They can wear anything from tuxes to suits to their jeans and t-shirt, we don't care, but we want it to be a fun night for them. The women can wear nice dresses, prom dresses, whatever we want. We've tied it in with the prom, we're excited. They're gonna leave me all the decorations up and everything, but we're gonna celebrate our teachers. We're gonna have a laid back, and not just teachers, we're gonna celebrate everybody in the district. So every single staff member, janitorial, cafeteria, everybody's welcome, and we want you all to be there as well.
Sounds great.
We're excited.
You've been busy, and I do want to comment on your healthy bingo. That was fun. And as I went through it, I did not realize how many healthy habits I had.
Mine stunk this week, Nancy. My good eating this week was not good eating.
Well, mine wasn't too good on the spring break. I did it on the, I got a week ahead. But when you go somewhere, it's really hard to stick to all that. But the one thing that I do is I keep a healthy snack bag. And as I go out the door, if I'm going to Knoxville or even over to Katie's, and the grandkids know that it's there, I'll grab that bag. And it has healthy protein bars. I'll stick some fruit in it real quick, and a couple packets of Propel for my water, and it's amazing. You don't stop at Weigel's and go in there and spend $20 to get your snack bag.
You also download the Lose It app that Mr. Brown got us all hooked on, and you scan something and you're like, whoa, yeah, I'm not eating that.
Yeah,
Cause you realize real quick it's not worth it.
it's amazing.
So,
And-
but it has been fun.
Right,
I think
and
the
at
staff
the
have
first of
enjoyed
the
this
year,
one.
I've got 2 freezers full, and I was determined to start using it. And it's amazing, there's weeks I don't even go to the grocery store. It may be 10 days or so, but I make do with what I've got. And
I'm
looking,
still hungry.
and looking at that, okay, what can I do to fit in it? I'm gonna keep it as a regular, but it is neat.
The extension agent actually texted me and asked for it as well, so.
Well,
we have
I showed it to her. I was over there and was telling
Give
her
my
about it.
sister go around in
And
there.
I showed it to her.
Yeah, she
And I-
asked for it, so I sent it to her, so it's been good.
Yeah, but if you all didn't do it, go back and just do that week by week, and it's amazing. Got some really things in it. If you've got a bum knee, you can't do too much walking, but I will do that. Anything else, our student people, have you all got anything? Everything going good? Ready to grade?